Martin, what is that sound?
Me scraping my chair.
Why?
I don't know. Just
Why would you do this to me?
error remover. Optima found the error remover funny. I found the garbage collection threads funny.
Hey, all this stretchy buffer implementation sucks. I'm definitely gonna make a new one. But anyway, I digress. Oh, just that my power just died. That's fun.
Ugh. Well, I need a decent screenshot.
While doing a system, that's funny. Oh, I see the picture you're talking about. Oh no. Error remover, that's great. Yeah, that's wonderful. Very funny.
Unsafe.allocate memory and free memory? Java has manual memory?
Yeah, C# as well,
What?
using Marshall.
Memory destroyer. Unsafe.free memory. Hell. Cat's runtime expects. It has an error remover in it. The memory destroyer has an error remover.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm fucking up what's on the stream right now. Boom. That is all. I'm being. Oh yeah, I gotta turn off push to talk. There you go. Push to talk is off, so I don't have to use, so everyone hears me the same. Welcome, Optimo.
I'm just gonna stay on mute.
That's
I'm gonna stay on mute a little bit.
Okay, so then. let's do. I need to store 2 states, so I'm gonna have 4 times 2, which I'm gonna have 5 bits times 2. It'd be 10 bits. Okay, cool.
Somebody's playing Let It Go outside my window. Ah. Wrong button. But you're not streaming on the Discord.
Yeah, I'll stream on Discord too. I decided to go differently. Where last few times I've streamed, I've had I had the ultra wide going, and then had it really weird on the stream. But I went back to what I was doing when I did Satisfactory, where I didn't have an ultra wide then, but I just decided to use only 1080p, like 2/3 of my ultra wide, and stream just that. And then I added the Discord chat up in the corner so people actually know like who's talking. So when I'm not doing stuff or something like that, or when other people are talking, they know that it's not me. And then yeah, I moved it down so my taskbar isn't showing, and the upper spot is now just my background with text badly put there, but I'm gonna eventually put like make a proper border. And I found out how to make like scrolling text displays and stuff like that earlier today, so I'll probably end up having like an update thing that just scrolls. I think I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, I'm moving this B and A over in these names. I'm trying totally different namings than I used to, and it's weird.
Naming scheme. What? You're doing Pascal.
I know what I need to do. Hey Mart.
Yeah.
Are you watching my stream?
Yes.
I'm gonna slowly apply some filters and stuff to audio.
What kind of, I'm watching your Discord stream, not the stream.
Well, it's gonna take a minute for me to I need a compressor. I need a noise gate.
Gain.
I'm back.
Only the first top filter gate, then compressor. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so now I need to put it at open. Hello, hello. Can one of you talk? Like Mart, talk or something like that real quick?
Hello.
Like loudly.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I'm gonna play a YouTube video real quick.
Fresh. Rejected. Rejected. What is...
Hello. Okay, so if I talk, the open threshold still gets me. Still gets me. Still gets me. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, so like 40 seems good for that.
Is rejected. What's that? You said a swear. Reject.
Cool, and then close threshold I'll have be negative 60. Attack time. Hold, I'll do 250. 250 milliseconds. Release 100. Attack time 65. No, 125. I like a soft like that. Compressor, and then this. Okay. Oh wow, it actually has a default compressor on it now. It doesn't. I don't like hear like the really loud high pitched scream when I like whistle. Oh cool. I don't even think I need to put it on. Output. Back of 6. Gain ratio. Actually, I think it just does it properly by itself. I'll just put it there, and then I'll do a gain here of la 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 la. Okay, and then I'll move this normal volume down by keep this natively at -10 here, -9.9. I'll bring this up until this just crisps the yellow. Close, and now I can bump up like this. Okay, cool. My audio should sound much clearer over my mic now, and you shouldn't hear nearly as much background noise. And then when you guys talk through Discord, since Discord has decent filtering already. Can someone say something in Discord, just like blah 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 blah, blah random stuff for a little bit?
Where? On the
No, just like voice, like verbally, just say random stuff.
Yes, here. I'm talking.
Keep going. I'm adjusting audio volumes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. More?
Yeah, like laugh. Like more intensely laugh.
Oh, come on.
That's perfect. Thank you.
My laughs are more like coughs or something.
I just wanted to like make sure that wherever I put you, it doesn't like destroy the it doesn't like destroy the speakers. Compressor ratio threshold. Yeah, because if I do this, yeah, it goes randomly really, really loud. Okay, so I need to drop this gain down a little bit. Need to drop that down so I'm not as like randomly peaking. Compressor, go to ratio, la 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 la. Okay. This probably sounds horrible. Thank God, like no one's watching. Okay, at least my mic probably doesn't sound as dog shit anymore. La 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 dum bum. What? Where do I do my forwarding check then? Okay, so this is the register. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, right? The right enable and the register address. It's every clock. Cool. Oh, no, not D2. Okay.
Hello again.
Hey.
We're streaming.
Oh.
Hello.
It's the stream.
Glad to see that you joined back again.
Yes, a new regular person.
Always happy to see that.
Yes.
I also upgraded the stream quality on YouTube if you haven't seen.
Do you stream now stereo? Because first you just had stereo on
Yes,
that
it
channel.
should be a stereo. My audio should also actually sound decent. It shouldn't like sound horrible. My S's and stuff like that when I talk a lot about super slippery snakes shouldn't also kill you as much. It should actually sound like quite normal. So super slippery snakes is something that won't kill you. And you can
Okay, not anymore.
Can you hear super slippery snakes? Is it fine?
Not in this stream, but I can in this, but I can. It's fine.
Yes. Okay, cool. I remembered like 3-4 years ago when I was doing Satisfactory streams, I had to do like the three filters I put on earlier in that order and change them. And I remembered I somewhat remembered how I said them, so I just kind of like guessed a little bit and hoped. Oh no. After I streamed Thursday when yes, this week it seems like it's going really slow. Yesterday morning I ended up spending like 20-30 minutes and just randomly clicking through the video and listening to myself and like looking at the stream and seeing like what stuff was really bad. What stuff was actually like good.
Other question. Why are so many people in the Discord watching your stream? It's like, aren't you all working? Like, is it a thing, like work? Things that humans do? Do you like just don't work?
Oh, you're talking about
Or
me? Like, or
yeah, everybody in here, because it's like it's it's morning, not morning, but it's
yeah, I know it.
10.
It's a horrible streaming time. I am very well aware of that. It's a horrible time.
No. Yeah, but why are you guys active now? It's like,
Oh, because
need to work.
for my work, I design processors and stuff like that. I'm designing a processor for one business, and then for another one, I'm working on their like accelerator. And part of that is like I started this Learn to Do Shit Discord to try and like get a debugger tool mating and get some like educational resources built up, through the help of a bunch of people. So other people can learn how to get to the point where they're designing stuff from just playing video games and stuff like that. Like get the skills a lot easier. So, and part of that is the people I work for understand that every Wednesday and Friday up until like noon to 1 p.m., I'm unavailable because I'm just here hanging out, like streaming, doing whatever, and just building whatever, and just hanging out here teaching people. So this is actually like a negotiated part of my work.
Great. I would like to have your work.
So pORC Yeah, pORC is a system that I use for debug as a debug system for things. Like I just temporarily throw it in like the old versions of the first version of the CPU, and this is version 3. The first version is used currently to like just go through. If I have a problem with something I'm building, I can drop that processor in it and program to do some really simple stuff for me and like run tests and go through things. So this is just like the third iteration of that CPU, giving me like faster clock speeds and like better throughput.
Nice. I guess.
I think this is the entire thing for this unit. I actually think. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Because since before, when I was doing in order, where I had like in order operations for general purpose things, the forwarding system would forward the 0 register even though it's a 0 register. So you could do some fancy things with like when you wanted to do like CSR swaps. If you didn't want to like destroy the value you had at hand, you could like move to the 0 register and then do a CSR swap with the 0 register, and it would take the CSR, put it into the 0 register, which would effectively destroy it. But because you did that the cycle immediately after your move, it would grab that out. And mine, I know if the CPU gets a stall or an interrupted that during that cycle, your instruction's fucked. So this is a good thing to add, but it was somewhat fun to abuse and like take advantage of that sometimes. But it is very, very bug prone unless you know exactly how to use it, which is not something that I like having in a system. Actually, writing to a register equals writing to a, and hold on. To follow the form I have below, it would be register a address not equal 0 and writing to a, actually writing to a.
If you see this language that everything gets like executed at the same time, it makes sense.
Pardon?
It's more sense than if you look at that usual code.
Oh, like the code makes more sense when you think about it as like everything happening at once. Yeah. Well, it does. So it executes that way since it's hardware. So this should be like the old units that I had before. I had a lot of data that just came in and out of units that was really, really stupid. Like that was really, really stupid. And it was just bad. It was just really bad. Like in the CPU, there's a lot of wires. You made it for like robustness, so like I would instantiate every wire connection here, and then this would have every wire connection. If it connected to something, you would have the outputs of one wire connected here, rather than just having these outputs plugged the fuck into this, and like have better naming. And it was really nasty. It made it just horrible. It's like the file's like twice as long as it needs to be, and I did it just to explain some things to people. But now that I realized that it was a bad way to explain things, I should have not.
Yeah.
I should have just not. Should do it like the way I actually do it when I'm writing code is like, if this is a module that I'm instantiating, the only wires that get instantiated above it are any outputs of this that aren't an output pin already. Because this and that would be, this was where they're sourced from, so you know that, hey, any wires down here that are also named up here are things that this module drives. It's just a really easy way to visually like reference. Because then you know everything else that comes into it is either going to be an input or sourced from somewhere else. Okay, I think that's actually done. Just making sure I didn't do anything stupid. Sync reset clears this. Register A address. Actually writing to A. That the name is proper. Writing to A.
If I do programming, I just execute it.
Yeah,
That's-
I mean,
You can't do that.
so yeah, it's annoying to do when you're coding, and that's like every single fucking day I talk about hardware. And up until the time I have the debugger, I'm going to constantly say, you know, if I had this debugger, this would not be a problem. Because the debugger will be hooked in. The whole point of the debugger is to just, like, you just run a build script here. It lints, it checks, it does everything for you. It compiles, it synthesizes, it builds the RTL. And then it lets you just play with the inputs and script the inputs in just an intuitive, easy, clean way.
You could do like unit tests to like then also test it with the debugger.
Debugger has so many, like, things in the works.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
Optimo.
know
There's a third person that may be helping on it, but not on, like, the main parts, on, like, building a few plugins that would make it really, really powerful. Like hooks to a few open source CPU simulators that are software CPU simulators. So that way you can, when you build your hardware, you can then compare. If you build your CPU and you have the inputs, your outputs matching, you can then have it automatically when you're debugging your CPU, compare the output against that simulation and run it, and mimic your inputs that you put into your test into that to make sure everything is cycle to cycle accurate. So that's really fun. The
you just to make sure again, you use that language to like have FPGAs programmed.
Yeah, like this system Verilog code. Yeah, I can program this with FPGA. So the idea is that with the simulator and stuff like that, you would then be able to, because a lot of people will write, when they make CPUs or different hardware, they'll write a simulation for it first and then they'll test it. So the idea is that you can, if you attach this to hook into your simulator with a few different like calls and stuff like that, like, hey, iterate cycles, these are the inputs you can modify and these are the outputs, and you just like put that as like something like a header on top of a file or whatever, like config, and then it would be able to just hook into your simulator and execute your CPU and validate that the hardware you make actually behaves in the same manner. Also be able to use like, so effectively you could do a one-to-one swap out. If you said, hey, this module is acting weird, I want to, like, you can right click on the module in the RTL and potentially like swap it out with a C++ module that would do the same thing. Which would effectively be a Verilator, but it would replace the Verilator C++ that's running for that module with your own C++. You could do a bunch of different things. You could do the entire stack and just test everything visually, which is a handful of just right clicks and swaps. It'd be so fun.
Yesterday there was like, I don't know, somebody got hacked. Your server was like full of invite links. I don't know why. Did you fix that? Or is he still hacked?
If he messages me or something like that, he can get back in, I suppose. I just gotta find him and then I'll just message him.
Hmm.
Hmm. Okay. Sorry, I was making notes about that right-click CPP thing. C++.
Yeah, an awesome language.
Like, Verilator is all C++. Be nice if you could swap out individual modules that you're simulating in your code with like just raw C++. It'd be really, really cool. I think it supports that, but I'm not sure because I'm not the one that's done research into it and let me and told me about it.
Well, I also don't have any idea. I mean, I could look into it, but it's like I'm lazy. I'm already in the
Yeah,
hex
no,
layer.
I'm not like asking you.
Investigated
I have people like I'm trying to like I'm like paying to do it.
so they can do it.
Okay, so we have word detection made up. See, the one thing about the forward detection is I need to cancel on this side. Oh, okay. So I need to make a module that checks checks if the operands are clean and stores the history of the last two operations. So that way, if someone, ooh, because if you're told to forward to something, then yeah, I just have to and I send it up there. I just block that forward. Something was supposed to forward from. Okay. So yeah, this operand's clean needs to check against the forward detection to see that way if you're forwarding to any okay. I'm gonna move this to this other screen so I can see it easier. Okay, so then let's do Runahead clearance check. No, that's dumb. What should I name this? Runahead operand check. I'll just do that. Operand validation. So then this should be I take in the issued instruction. I take in the forward 0 to A and put forward 0 to B. A together. Issued instruction. Instruction to run ahead queue. Let's do that. Instruction to run ahead queue valid. Output. And I did A would have forwarded and a B would have forwarded. A. Damn it. Would have forwarded. Output. B would have forwarded. The only thing I have to check. Where'd I put them notes? This. Okay, so Let's do 1 0 operand A status vector. La 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 da, 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 da. Oh my god, why did I just close that? I just okay, so in this this doesn't deal with any stalling, so I don't even have to worry about the to be written. These I'm gonna copy these notes here so I don't lose them. So I don't care about these. And I don't care about these. This is the only condition I need. First off, I know these two are going to be the same, but invalidate issue instruction equals. It's the same, they're the same signal. I'm just going to assign them. I don't give a shit. I just want them to be two different things to plug in for my mental state. Actually, no, that's stupid. I'm just going to, fuck it, I'll leave it. In case I want to add logic. So right now I am just making this run ahead operand. I'm just validating based on this block diagram. That the operands are actually clean. I heard a
I don't get it.
Oh, hi,
What are you
Has.
implementing?
So in this CPU,
Yeah.
I need to check, since it's a run ahead CPU, I need to see, am I going to issue the when the instruction's in this phase right here, it's going to accept forwards, so all the forwarding is going to happen in this stage, and it's also going to check if the operands are actually valid. And if the operands are, like, if I can actually issue the instruction or not. So if I can issue the instruction, then it so the operand so if I
Then it
can't
will.
so if I can't issue the instruction, it needs to send it to the run ahead queue, and if I can, it goes down. So based on last stream when I worked through notes and figured out that this was the condition for when to forward instruction to run ahead queue, I'm just making this unit to check for if I'm ever issuing an instruction where these are where the instruction's actually valid. Does that make sense? So I want to make sure that
Yeah, so you actually just put meaningless stuff. No, meaningful stuff to it.
yeah, like right now I'm looking at that diagram.
You're
I'm
sorting
saying
out.
yeah, I'm looking at out of this diagram what type of inputs is I'm first starting out what type of inputs am I going to get into it? Do I expect to have into it? What do I need? And what type of outputs? And a lot of times it's even easier to start with your outputs. Like, okay, what is this going to drive? Okay, now to get that logic, what do I need? Like for instance, I have the A would have forwarded and B would have forwarded. And how would I generate those? Well, I would generate those if A was forwarded from 0 to A or 1 to A, that would lead to A would have forwarded, like I have at line 32. And then same thing for B respectively. So I'm writing that here so that way that logic, then I know all those ports are good. Then I need to know, am I going to forward it? Well, I need to know, are they dirty? Or if A to be read is not 0. Oh yeah, I need to have, that means because I just said that, I just saw A to be read. Coolio. So then yeah, so if A to be read is on, or A dirty, or that, because this is only on if it's a single value, so I can just kind of remove that because it's redundant. So yeah, if any of these 3 values are on, then I need to forward the instruction. So assign. But there's also additional conditions to that, which is why I have the run ahead history. Is let's say you issue an instruction, and then that instruction goes, oh shit, I need to go to run ahead because I require the result from a load that hasn't come back yet. So because that load hasn't come back yet, you mark that register dirty when you issue the load, saying, hey, this register is waiting for a write back from memory. If anything needs it's invalid.
You need to wait.
You need to
Or at
wait.
least, like, yeah.
So in the last version of the CPU, whenever we try to issue an instruction that required a dirty register, we just stalled the CPU and waited for it to become undirty. In this version, instead of fully stalling the CPU at that cycle, we're going to push that instruction to the run ahead queue so we can issue it as soon as the instruction becomes valid. Let's say you had an instruction that you had load. You loaded a value into R4, and then you added R4 to R5, and then you did like R5. Then you checked if R5 was 0. Okay, just as some random series of events. In that series of events, the first instruction will see the operands as, okay, cool. I'm gonna be we'll see the instructions coming through like, okay, cool. This would forward. This is dirty. A is dirty. So okay, I'm gonna need to mark that as dirty. Okay, we're good on that. And you mark it dirty, and you keep going. But you need a mechanism to write back to check, hey, the next instruction that checking if R5 was 0 can't actually finish unless you finish the instruction that was just put into the run ahead. So you then need to run ahead that instruction because it's in the same chain of dependencies. So I'm making a little queue here that queues up that says, hey, pretty much just a 2-bit flag. Since there's only 2 stages you can forward, it will be reg multibit 10. Run ahead history. This will be run ahead history 0, and then oh damn it. Instruction to Runahead Queue valid. And this just needs this will update every clock cycle, just like the forwarding system, because this is only gonna care about like things. I don't really need to modify these because if the instruction's invalidated, then it's Fulcrum invalidated anyway. So then I need to sign that. This is going to be the more complicated one. So this needs to be I'm gonna simplify this for legibility. A30 equals operand a status vector 2.
You need to explain the keywords that you got because I don't know.
Which keywords? So
Via and assign. I guess I can imagine
So-
what input and output is. I know how an FPGA works.
so think about
Yeah.
like you've built Redstone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know like a wire of Redstone.
Yes.
So this is literally instantiating a wire, and then you're putting what drives that wire after it. So if the wires, so if you have like a wire coming out on the output of the upper bit of your adder, you would attach this as adder output, and then like your LSB. So then this wire would connect to just the LSB of the adder. Does that make sense? So you're actually making a physical wire by saying there's a wire. And you can also do it like this. You can also do like wire some wire, assign some wire. And this comes in
So you-
handy.
Basically have like just a redstone via between your A and your B point.
Yeah.
No,
So-
wait. I don't. Okay, and some bit vector. Okay, what does this some bit vector thing does?
Okay, so these are different ways to do wires. Wire equals, hold on, wire, some wire equals some logic. So these are all different ways you can handle wires. Let me just like, actually, oh, cut this. And just do that. Okay, so these, when you instantiate a wire, like line 87, you can just instantiate a wire and say, hey, I have just a generic wire, and it's just a wire floating in space, essentially. You can, on that same line, you can assign some logic to it, like I have on the lines up here, where it's like an OR gate, where I'm assigning this output equals forward A or forward B. You can do the same thing in front of a wire, it just in the same instantiation. You can also make a wire and assign it somewhere else. You can, and then some module name dot some module pin some wire. You can also do something like this, where you have a wire that you just instantiate a wire, and you're plugging a wire straight into the input. So if this was your ALU and this was your input, you would just have that come straight in.
Oh.
So you're defining the wire, and then this logic would be, so you could assign it this way, and then let's say you have multiple bits. You could have, if this was this could also be something like a multi-bit vector. Some bit pins, vector pin. I'll just do some byte. These are all valid ways to like work with wires. Where this is just like, this would be the more basic way, and then like you could do here, you can split it up and do it on separate lines. you can like you can assign a vector, and then you could instantiate a vector and then assign individual bits in that vector to values. You could also, and then you could also have a module that is, you could assign a wire vector, a bit vector of wire, like it's like a byte wide for this, for instance, to a pin or whatever. These are all different things. Like these are all the things you do for wire. Logic is going to be used for things like, let's see.
Is it like a switch case thing?
Yeah. So
Oh
like,
yeah, I see.
and the huge
For
takeaway.
each
Go ahead.
combination.
You
For
keep
each
talking.
binary Yeah, for each binary combination, you have like a switch case. Basically that, right? The
Yep.
mux. Okay, I'll go on. Doesn't seem that difficult. You just need to have the know-how of CPUs, obviously.
Okay, so the difference between logic and wire, logic can be used for literally anything per spec. Like you can use logic as a register, you can use logic as a wire, you can use logic as some stuff where you only can use the logic for. You can use it for literally anything, and I hate it. I will firmly stand behind I hate that. So this is how I only use logic. I only use logic in these two cases explicitly. Where you're putting it in, and both of these are because you're instantiating it in an always comb, which is just an always combinatorial logic or always combinational logic block. And in these, they allow you to do fancy things. So in Redstone, ORs are free. Like you can have like two like levers attached to a wire, and they can either one of them can turn on. The wire is effectively an OR gate. But when you're in logic level, you can't have that. You actually have to explicitly put an OR gate between them. You can't just have like multiple drivers in a single wire. That throws an error as a multiple driver error. And you can't have that with a wire. But a logic allows you to have exceptions to the multiple driver rule. So in this rule, it's treating this as a default value, and it's going, oh, on this one hot vector, I'm going to just every bit's going to be 0. But then this one hot vector, let me put a comment up here. Decoder. This is a decoder. So it's taking this bit index, which is just like a 4-bit, or this should be a 3-bit address. It's taking this 3-bit address and it's indexing the individual bits of this one hot and setting whatever bit you index to 1. So it's effectively decoding this value. So this output, if you would give it an input of N of 3, N of 3, it would output 8, B, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would output that. So if you inputted a hex value of 3, it would output this, because it's actually just straight decoding the bit. It's just decoding it for you. And then this is a case statement. So this is just a multiplexer. Effectively the same thing as this, but instead of using just a blanket address on a power of 2 value, you can use individual cases, and you can also just remove cases. Like you can do really fancy things with this and only have like 1 or 2 entries. But this also, as you can see, has multiple drivers of some output mux. There's assignments on multiple lines for all the bits of it. But because it's logic, it allows the compiler to take a few extra like guesses and leaps. Hello, Emil. And it can take a few extra guesses and leaps and actually allow you to come in here and assign things to these, and for each individual case of a multiplexer, and goes, oh, you have a multiplexer. That's what you need. I know what you need. And that's when you use a mux. So like, yeah, well, you don't want
Yeah.
to use mugs, but like a logic is used here, a wire is used here, and then a register. I have lots of snippets that I use. And like this is some bit some I'll do this, some repeater lock. Okay, so this is a repeater lock example, right? So imagine repeater locks could be reset by like, you could like, if they had, like, if you powered one side they locked, but if while it was locked you could power another side with a pulse and it would clear whatever's in it and set it to a 0.
Yeah.
So what this does, what I'm making here in this is, I really need to make like one-to-one examples. Like one of the things that I want to make really badly is make all these examples, and I want to make, I need to put this on the Learn to Do Shit website. Actually, I'll probably do that this
You
weekend.
could write and read the docs.
Yeah, I'm gonna, on the Learn to Do Shit website, I want to, there's a link to like a tutorial like type thing that I host, and it has 0 content on it, absolutely 0. But I've wanted to take these and like write code right here and then show beside it, or an image of like what redstone it maps to, so people can have like a one-to-one translation. Because effectively this is putting a comparator behind a clock, and then so if you know how in a repeater lock you have to power the repeater, the locking repeater, in order to actually lock it. Like you need to hold the power high. So if you put a comparator behind that repeater, and you put a comparator behind both, how can I put? So since this is sync reset, this is effectively just powering the side of the comparator that goes into the repeater lock. So it writes a 0. It forces a write 0 into the repeater lock if this wire's on whenever your clock pulses. This clock enable is effectively like turning off a line. God, yeah, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off because like I really have wanted some pictures to show for this, and like I'm in my mind, I know exactly like what example I can show. For like a clock enable line is, if you build a register file and you've built a CPU in Redstone, your clock goes to every single write line of your register file. But since the output of your decoders are inverted, the output of the decoder just goes straight into the register file. So that way, so all the registers write lines are constantly set high, holding the repeater lock and keeping their values the same no matter what the clock's doing. But once you decode a particular register, that decode line goes low, and it allows the clock line to then drop low for 2 cycles on only that register, which is effectively what I'm doing with this clock enable here. It's driving that line low, allowing that low pulse to come through and propagate whatever data you want, whatever data is instantiated here, into the actual register. So this would be like clock enable and write address equals like 4H7 or something like that. And this would be effectively like ALU output 4 or like 3. So this would be, if this was defining a single repeater lock and a single register file in Redstone, this would be for register 7, bit 3 of register 7. Or bit 3 of register 7, and this would just be a synchronous reset bit in that register file. And I really, really want to make one-to-one examples so goddamn badly. Hold on, the chat was cut off. I can't read it. What Emil said. Making a one-to-one with Redstone is one step closer to FPGA. So yeah, it is. It's definitely one step closer, and I will do that. And I have yeah, I think that's gonna be my weekend project, because I'm not really doing anything Saturday at all, like tomorrow. Like I'm cleaning up some, but normally on weekends I'll like play some video games or something like that, or watch a movie, do some random stuff. But I think this is gonna be finally what I work on, because this is gonna be a good step forward and then I can take those same pages, and once we get the debugger set up, I can then map the RTL. I can run all that same code, and you can see RTL, System Verilog, and Redstone, all the equivalents at all times. Then you could really learn quickly and make that transition.
If you templated those one-to-ones properly, you know, you could then generate a Verilog code from a schematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a favor to ask of somebody that knows more about this than me, because it always takes me too long to do this. I want to just get wait, no, I'm an admin. Never mind. I'll just abuse my admin powers. I already have 4 plots. Don't wow.
Hello.
Don't wow.
Yeah.
I'll just use my 4 plots because I want to take screenshots with nothing around. But I also want to. So the one thing I really want to do is, actually, if someone could help me get just a zip a Minecraft server that just has like world edit on it because I want to take in the components, and you know how like Sammy does in his videos where there's nothing, it's just floating in the air on. Wait, I can just delete my floor on ore, can't I? No, but then
And you can lower the view distance, and you can turn off the UI and take a screenshot.
I need to ask Sammy how Sammy did his, but
there's a tool people use called ISO render.
Do you just load in a schematic or something?
I'm not familiar with how it works, but that's what it's called.
I'm messaging him now real quick.
ISO render. You could imagine if you had a schematic, and if there was just some offline renderer that would get it done. I believe it uses the game engine to do the renders. Probably is in the offline world. It's probably like a offline server plugin.
Yeah.
But if you do hop on here tomorrow for the redstone thing, me, I'm gonna be around anyway. But
if I do it, I'll probably be streaming on the YouTube channel again and just be in here doing the same thing. But it will be like a random freeform weekend stream. It won't be like a planned time. I'll pretty much just sit down when I know that me and my girlfriend are gonna watch like MasterChef or something, and I'll just mute my desktop, and I'll just talk. I'll just do this and stuff while we have that playing on the background. Because a lot of times we just put on shows while she's playing WoW and I'm playing my game, and we just watch them together. So instead of playing that, I'll just stream and make this. Sounds like a great weekend to me, honestly. It sounds really fun. And I can finally be like, hey, if you want to know what a wire is, go here. If you want to know what a logic is, go there. And do you want to know the difference? There. And then just make one massive write-up with pictures.
Yeah, just do a read the docs. Would be fun.
You have a small Genvar example show?
Do you remember the bitscan forward thing? Optimal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis, this Genvar and generate keywords, they're kind of like a macro. Imagine like your C macros. These allow you to generate a parametric group of components, the for loop. It's all instantiated at once in the Verilog, but it's like a macro, you know.
Oh yeah, I have a bit reversal thing. So this just because I always hated like there's sometimes where you just need to reverse. And you know what's great? Like in Quartus, if Quartus actually I've realized does support this decently. You can do like wire 70 some vector wire 70 reversed vector and be like sum vector 0 to 7, and Quartus will go, oh fuck yeah, you want to flip the bits, and we'll just do it for you. Other things won't. Like I Verilog and Libero just say no, that's illegal. That you know, the left operand always has to be greater than the right operand. What's wrong? You can't do that. So I had to make a snippet that just it has a genvar and makes a new reversed vector of whatever I need.
So this would get expanded like a macro before the compiler gets it, and it would turn into however long your vector is there, that many assignments.
Yeah. So if you right now, if you had like this, I would have like data bit width usually, and then I would have like data bit width -1, and this would just take every bit. This would be data bit width. And it would essentially just take everything of your input value of whatever it would be. Input data, it would take this input data and just put it in, it would map the reversed index essentially. So when this, on your 0th iteration of this, you would get, and if you have an 8 wide value, you'd get 8 - 0 - 1, which would map the 0th bit of the reverse value to the 7th bit of this. And then when you get a 1, this would be 1, and then this would end up being 6. And vice versa. And we'll just go through the bits and iterate through. I also have been meaning, I have a module for your priority encoder, but I've been meaning to make it into a really long snippet as well, Mar. I love that priority fucking encoder. It's so great.
Thank you.
Like I would, like my goal is to take, because there's a lot of different things like the priority encoder and stuff like that that are really easy and quick to make in Redstone. And this weekend, like my goal is I'm going to try to make a list of all the different things that I could like compare and start with the basics and just have like a 1-to-1. Because I have a wiki page set up on SV2, like SV toolset. I have this set up already, but there's nothing on it. It's just nothing except to the Git repo that hasn't been touched in like 2 years.
We were gonna do like a Rosetta code for Redstone to Verilog.
Were you here back then, Optimal?
Yeah, we talked about that briefly.
Yeah, so the exact same thing that I'm talking about doing now, I was gonna do then, but I stopped then because I wanted to have a third, like, there was a lot to think about of where I wanted to take everything. But now that I know, okay, the debugger and like making like small CPU tutorials like Myvar and I talked about last time, of where once I get the debugger made, I'll start doing and up until that point I'll start planning out all this stuff in more detail. But once the debugger is made, I'll be going through and I'll start with like the most basic like single cycle CPU, or even like a multi-cycle CPU, where like a single instruction is broken up into like some 4 microcode. Like, hey, first we got to increment the PC, then we have to load the instruction buffer, then we have to do this, and like some basic stuff. And then go from like the most basic and like first stage CPU and just build all the way up and walk through those videos and things, and then have those be, and just pretty much have like, so when I'm building something like pORC and streaming pORC, if someone's confused and they don't know like the motivations behind stuff, they can pick any CPU along based on how much they already know, and then watch through that CPU build and go to the next one and then edit those down. And once I have this 1-to-1 like Rosetta Stone page written up, I can then make like a video or something like that, or try to get help from somebody to help produce, because I've never done video editing, so I have no idea. Try to get that produced so I could then take a so you then get like a walkthrough of like a verbal walkthrough of them as well, of someone like flying around, like modifying the code and stuff like that and looking at them, or even just like a PDF style and just someone walking through and adding more context to what the page has. But Yeah. Like I would love to, because in that this backend that I used for the wiki, you can have like things that are default like collapse, so you can do like spoilers and stuff. So I want to do sections where like you're going through, and as you go through, it'll be told expand as you go, so you can like go through it. You could be like, okay, this is what it is, and then if at the end it'll ask you like, what do you think if you change these parameters, what will the resulting like code look like, or like if you wanted to change the bit width, or if you want to change that, and then get so people, if they were like reading through a tutorial style, they could do it along, or they could try to build redstone. They think that would match that code, and then they can click the drop down and be like, oh, okay, I was right or I was wrong. Ideally, I would have 2 pages, like 2 of these pages, one that focuses on going from system Verilog to Redstone, and one that focuses on Redstone to system Verilog. So the spoilers go in one direction versus the other. Oh no. I could always have it to where there'd be like a left and a right. You'd have like, you'd come into a page, it'd be like some text, and then underneath it you'd have like a drop down for the like for the system Verilog, and then over here you'd have the output of you'd have the redstone. I'm just put RS. And you could just drop these down and see which one, see them dynamically. It'd be really fun, really nice to do. Be like, this is an example, these are some code, have like a bunch of examples up here, and then have like this be an explicit. It could be really fun. I'm excited for it. I know like math, like data corruption, that I just helped learn system, I'm trying to like deep dive into system Verilog, and spending a lot of time in the last like week and a half to learn it, get used to it. Would absolutely be able to just like run with that if he had that one-to-one translation, because then you don't really have to think about stuff happening one-to-one. If you're wanting to translate your Redstone CPU into real world, you could literally look at the wires and go, oh, I'm going to build this one-to-one using this translation guide, and it would actually work. Like there wouldn't be a problem with that working. Yeah.
That's good. Keep formulating your ideas, you know, chiseling it down.
Yeah, that, like, I know I repeat like a lot of the ideas out loud a lot, and a lot of you probably heard them a bunch of times, but half the time I repeat them because they slightly change every time. My brain like thinks through them better, and then getting feedback from you as I'm saying them, like if you notice, hey, that's different, or you say, hey, yeah, I like that, or I don't like that, or ask me a question, I can go, okay, cool, that's a good idea, or that's a bad idea.
That's what happens with everyone.
Yeah,
I'm doing that as well. Just whatever Myvar told me before he left about compilers influenced how I see this.
Oh yeah, Mart has changed his CPU like several times.
Well, the ISA is pretty sure it's finalized, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'm happy with this.
It's true, you're happy with
it. Or like all of the feedback you've gave me, I haven't done like any significant changes, so I think it is good enough.
Like, it's getting there. Version 1, we'll call it.
Well, actually, version 2, Phoenix Plus.
Right, sorry, version 2.
Yeah. The original one, no feedback, it failed. Because I had too many oversights. Anyway. Yay, I'm gonna regex the shit out of my parser now.
Be back in a couple.
Yes.
I'm about to get up and stretch too, because I've been sitting down for like 90 minutes without standing up. And that's a bad thing to do. I am happy that I started the process of organizing the stream a little bit because I now have it like somewhat like it's more legible. You can see Discord, but I also want to have like a starting stream, ending stream, and like at least an overlay I can toggle that says like, "Hey, be right back" or something like that, like I used to have. Just some AFK thing. Some background music would probably be nice too. One second, I just got a important DM. I'm going to. Where do you think the best way to send? I haven't sent a large file over the internet in a while. What's the best current way to send like a 7 gig file?
Holy shit.
Uh,
I use Google Drive.
I guess Google Drive, or you use VTransfer.
Or compress it first, of course.
How large can you? What's Google Drive's file limit?
Three Google Drives are 15 gig.
Yeah.
15 for the free one.
I'll just use one of my work ones then. Actually, I know what I can do. Da 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 da. Sat Labs. Baba 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 baba. a streamer. So I help run a Satisfactory community, and
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Why don't you play Factorio? Satisfactory. Fuck them.
fuck you.
Nobody likes. Okay, a lot of people actually like
It's so much
Satisfactory.
better.
But no, it's not. It's 3D.
Yes, that's why it's better.
No, that's why it's worse.
It's Turing complete, right?
Wait, what?
My mod made it turn complete. It's not Turing. I don't know if it is currently.
Factorio is Turing complete.
Facto Rayo. Yes, that one.
Such a good game, Factorio.
You had like a whole community of Satisfactory players following him and working on builds.
Lock them. They don't know what they are losing.
It was like
They didn't play.
It was at like
They didn't know Factorio.
it was 2,000 people strong at one point, and we got like 3 people to Twitch partner.
I got it in the beta. It's Satisfactory. But Factorio is better. And it will always be.
I haven't played neither, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, then look it up. It's worth. It's worth looking it up.
He's gonna tank my internet. I'll do this afterwards. Actually, I don't want to upload like gigs and gigs while I'm streaming. Yeah, so one of the streamers for that community passed away, and he only had like 14 days saved on his streams. And by the time we found out, he only had like 3 streams left. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait, if his family doesn't know his passwords, they could lose the streams forever and don't have any like his last like things he did. He streamed every single day for like 4 to 6 hours. So I went on there and I ripped the stream off his last 2 streams off Twitch, so I could send them over to them if they so they would just be there in case they wanted to have them as a memory. And apparently they do, so I'm gonna upload them for them.
It's really nice, Gio.
He was one of the he repped our logo and our banner, and in his about he's had that. He's been in our Twitch team. He was like one of our first 3 or 4 streamers like 4 years ago when we first started that whole thing. He's been around since the very beginning, and he's always been a great guy. No one's ever gave us a complaint about him being like rude or anything. He's always been polite. He's always welcoming to new people in chat. But there's nothing like bad to say about him.
It's a bummer.
It is. So we posted something about it. We're gonna be posting something. We're gonna his last 2 streams, his very last stream is gonna be hosted on the SatLabs website for a while, just on a dedicated like remembrance page.
I remember looking once for Twitch like archives. There's several services that do some amount of archiving, but I don't know what's out there.
I didn't want to deal with all that, so I just found the software online and then just ripped it, and now I have them forever.
Were you able to get more than just those few episodes?
No, it was just the last 2.
Sure, they'll appreciate it.
Why didn't I do control arrow? That would have been so much faster. Oh wait, I'm stupid. I'm so stupid.
Oh, I have these moments.
Yeah, because these should be an OR. And then these should go here. These should go here. Because I was blindly just saying, oh, if it's ever forwarded, it's going to be a problem. But no, if it's only if you need to forward 1, should it actually go to the 1. And only if you should forward 0, did it actually go to the 0. I had my and and ors two different, I was ending and oring in the wrong way. There's one thing that my bar, I definitely understood my bar when I was talking about this. Even showing a block diagram and explaining stuff, there's so much to keep track of, like the state diagram and like the instruction flow and monitoring for hazards and stuff like that. That just, it'd be so much easier to have all these things. It's really hard to like, no, how am I trying to say this? It's hard to explain it to someone if they don't know the motivations between why or how individual parts were needed. Like they can know like, oh, you did that, but it's hard for them to actually grasp it in any reasonable way without really knowing things. So if A is dirty, B is dirty, if A is to be read, or if either of these forwards are dirty and this is an active instruction. Okay, I think that actually covers it. So then then now that I have forward detection, then I can now do actual I can make my forwarding unit. I don't think this needs a clock. Oh yeah, no it doesn't. There's going to be need parameters though. Parameter data bit width equals input wait, I will need a clock, yeah, because something that comes in here and then immediately, yeah, I'll have to have a clock because I need to store it back one cycle. Too lazy to write that over and over. Input write back result, and then we need okay, since 30 instructions come in. Oh yeah, that's one thing I need to do. A dirty and not. I need to do output load to be forwarded. Yeah, load to be forwarded. Load to be. So what I'm doing here is on this block diagram, I have, come on. I have the maybes here for load because like the register is a dual write. It has logic. The logic is built so you won't ever have a write collision on a register. But if you do like a load right here, and you would say there's an instruction that was in the cache in this register file that was coming through and needed to run that, use the operand of the load, the same cycle it's writing back, or like the cycle here. So if it loads back either of these two cycles, it would just normally go to the Runahead queue and then have to wait its turn again, and it would just artificially delay it. But I can build a load system here that takes in the operands at this point for the load and detects, since the dirty registers aren't immediately being stalled here. I'm not so to freeze my thought and put context in pORC1. I had this forward path from the write back mux, and I had this forward path here that came in, but it was never used because logic was really bad, and I didn't plan the logic properly. It just failed to work properly. So with this one, instead of stalling on the same cycle up here, that if a dirty bit is on, it just always stalls. Now it's, if a dirty bit's on, it doesn't matter. It's always propagates the instruction. I stall at this point. Like, this is what tells me when I need to stall. Or when I need to just move things back. So yeah, what I need to do is I need to take this load and I need to have it come in here and say, hey, if you're about to forward an instruction to the Runahead queue whose operand is marked dirty, and like if you're about to forward and it's available to forward because that's currently being written back, or it's just was written back the prior cycle, ignore the dirty bit because accept the forward. And now I'm trying to think through if I need 2 or 1 cycles of forward. So if a load comes in here, if instruction is here, and a load is coming in on this cycle, the load is like currently outputting. If it's on the same cycle it's coming in, then that would be the first forward. But then if it comes, yeah, I need 2. I need at least 2. Yep, because you can load in on the cycle directly after the instruction, either on the instruction the cycle's in the register file, or directly after that. And if it's directly after that, that would be here. Yeah. I'm thinking. So I'm thinking. I'm debating doing something I've never really done because timing reasons, but I think it may help me in this case. I usually don't clock this. Notice how this line from this mux doesn't go through here. I just take the output of this and just pipe it straight into the register rather than buffering it. And I may just buffer that. I'm thinking. I need to use Milton and draw some diagrams. Hey, Myvar, do you know how to force a straight line? Like, force it to be vertical? Is there a way to force lines to be vertical or horizontal?
Try holding shift.
Yeah, shift and control don't work. They just change brush sizes.
Roxanne.
You don't have to turn on a red light.
Yes. Roxanne.
So every time I think about that song, I will always think of the movie Good Burger.
I never watched Good Burger, yeah?
Good Burger is so amazing. I can quote like so many scenes to that movie. So I got a question,
Nice.
Myvar.
Yes.
How much do you make a Good Burger? What'd you say, $5 an hour? Well, how does $10 an hour sound? Compare those. The dude pulls out a $10 bill and a $5 bill and starts crinkling him in his ears. He goes, they sound about the same.
Wow. That's weird.
It's such a good fucking movie.
Good Burger. Let's Google it.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
There's like a German band and they made a cover of Roxanne, and that's where I heard the song. It's like an old movie, like 1997.
Yeah.
Interesting. I found that most old movies hasn't aged well. I don't
This
know.
movie definitely has. I watched it a few years ago. It's definitely reminds me of childhood. Like it's definitely not like an adult. It is somewhat of an adult movie, but it's a teenage movie, I would say.
Oh, okay. After the red light.
Okay.
I don't know. On the Milton GitHub, it mentions straight lines, but like it was a feature that got broken a couple years ago, and I guess it never fixed.
Yeah, Molten is pretty like. I compiled Molten for Linux once, and I religiously back up that binary because it was a nightmare.
Okay, so here we have a basic thing, and I'm just gonna. Can you copy and paste in this? Oh, but I can just make a new layer. Cool. So if we would have a load come in here. God damn it. Use yellow. We got a load come in here. And a load to be fetched, decoded, execute. And then it would write back. It would take some time because it's a load. And then it'll be stored at this clock cycle. Let's say, and this went to R2. I'm going to put a 2 here and a 2 here. Okay, and then we have two different instructions. Because the question is where they're going to be in this thing. So it's either going to be like an add that's going to be in decode 1 here, or like let's just use two different. Let's use add and sub. And both of these.
Linux bolts. Sorry, I got excited. Go ahead.
Sub. This is written back here. That means this A can grab the forward here. Because this can go back and forward for that cycle. S so S can't be forward. Okay, so then A can be so A can be forwarded. Now let's say we have just I'll use red. A move instruction. That way this would be yeah, so I only need one deep load. One deep will at least give me some help. Yep, okay. So I'll just forward it won't save me in all cases. Like this sub would still have to be like routed up to the run ahead. And then it would come back through up here. This would be valid on this cycle, so then this sub would come down and propagate. So it'll only end up getting a 2 cycle. Okay, so that's not too bad.
Are you a sub or a dummy, Capo?
Because that move, if that move even used the same value or even used the A, that move would. Oh my lord. S is here and then S is here. This move could come in and then you could have just like either a NOP or you could have any other instruction. So I would give it a 1, 2, 3. It'd be a 4 cycle penalty if you were to do that, but oh well. I mean, like that's 4 cycles compared to like what you normally would under any other circumstance, and there's a lot of work that could be in the run ahead queue that could probably run ahead of you anyway in those 4 cycles. So I'm gonna just say that's good. Ew. Yeah, yeah, I like that it slices up vectors. If you could get that with the Lorian thing without, that's nasty. But yes, this means I only need load to be forwarded.
Box. I want to try Moscow Mule. I make a lot of.
Go ahead.
I make a lot of ginger beer at home because I love the stuff, like just to drink plainly. But apparently, there's like cocktails of the stuff, and Moscow Mule is a pretty popular one.
Broaden your horizons on the drinks.
Yeah, like, I don't drink like at all. All right, but I'm trying. Like for example, about a month ago, I got some honey mead. Just to try and see how it tastes, and I made like a honey mead gin cocktail, so that was pretty good. But so like I'll get some alcohol to like try a cocktail once, and then that's that, right? But yeah.
Don't drink alone.
I don't know. Isn't there like some Swedish thing where people drink alone in the winter in a cabin?
They don't have a choice.
No, but they have like a word for it, and it's old cultural thing.
Might be right.
I don't know. I'm ignorant on the subject.
So this Lorian project is contemporary. If you wanted to like Add a vector slicing feature to it, you could do it.
Fair enough. But guess what? I have a life.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, at least I keep telling myself I have one, to be honest. To be honest.
Load.
Threatening Godot? That's interesting.
hmm
And the one thing that's nice about Molten is that if you can sketch in it. Because you can make gradients.
Yes.
I can't
Well,
help.
it registers your hand pressure.
Yeah. Like I've been sailing so much that I can't stop thinking about knots. Even while drawing in Molten, I just keep on drawing knots.
That's a math problem too.
It is. It's quite interesting. I don't know. Like I've been noticing there are like fundamental building blocks of knots, and it's pretty simple to make your own knots by taking components from different ones.
Right.
You don't have to turn on the red light.
That be would that be topology knots? I don't know.
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, I believe I've seen a couple videos about knots on Numberphile.
Oh, interesting. And from what I understand, and I'm still learning to sail, right? So I'm pretty ignorant on the subject. So take this with a bag of salt. But people are starting to phase out. So there's like a new kind of. I don't know if it's new, but there is a kind of rope that is getting used more and more nowadays. That where they take like I think it's nylon or some plastic, and they stretch it to its absolute limit, and it makes for a very strong rope, but it really doesn't like knots. It's very stiff. It's not a dynamic thing. Like it's a very static rope. So people are no longer, at least, are starting to move away from knots and shackles and stuff like that, and moving more towards soft shackles, and spliced or interwoven. I don't know what you call it. Loops on the end of ropes. So like the entire rope is there's no knots or metal involved, right? And then they have like soft shackles to redirect force and stuff.
I understand. You end up having to tie the soft thing around the stiff rope,
Oh.
or weaving the threads together, like you said.
The older boat that I'm sailing on is um still uses like the normal ropes with pulleys and stuff. But again, like I said, I'm still learning. I'm very ignorant and by no means an expert on the subject.
Unless you're fishing, you only got to know like 2 knots on a boat.
Yeah, for sailing, like there's like 7 or 8 of them, and
Fishing's only like 2 or 3 more.
Yeah.
You have to be able to tie a leader on. I want to tie a standing knot for like a bimini hook set, multiple hooks.
Mm-hmm. I mostly the knots that I use are like 2 turns and a double hitch, bowline knot.
Line, great.
Yeah, and things like double sheet bend or stuff like that.
Yeah, the one I use all the time, not on the water, is the trucker hitch, which is like you leverage 2 times leverage on the tightening down of like tying something to your truck or something like that.
That's cool.
Okay. I think this module is now done.
Nice.
If you put a gun to my head, I couldn't tie you a bowline.
Yeah, I've been practicing at night I lay and listen to audiobooks, and then I practice in the dark. So I've been getting better at it.
I got an app. I don't need to practice.
Follow this 10-step guide. Well, something horrible is going on around you,
Right.
where you quickly need a knot.
Exactly.
Mm.
Hey,
Yes,
Marver,
I need PRM on my knots.
the
Yeah,
parser is getting more and more cringe by the day. By
listen,
the minute.
listen. You need to not live in that one corner, yeah, of the
Yeah.
triangle.
Well, I do have knowledge about up till what you do with parsing. Like
Yeah,
after
you need an AST. Once
I
you got the
understand.
AST,
I understand up till the part tree how to in the call in the functions implementing the non-terminals you construct the abstract syntax tree. I don't know that yet.
yeah, you need to like now actually put the useful information in the AST, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but first you
Well,
need to design an
AST.
AST.
Well, is that what I'm doing? Is I'm making a program object holding like a list of segments, and then each segment has a list of code blocks and a list of. Yeah, is that a syntax tree?
I think it's like technically a syntax tree, but not really.
3 like.
I don't know. Nah, you need to. I don't know. Your language is very strange. Your assembly.
It's an assembly.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff in there that's not
Yes.
context free. Well,
YouTube.com/myvar.
what? Oh yeah,
AST videos.
I do have some. Yeah.
Got to get Art to use C#.
You gotta get. So you
Please.
broke up.
Well, Art's using Java, but
Oh yeah.
you probably would like C#. It's got a lot of Java stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Haven't programmed in C# in a really long time. Like I use it at work, but other than that, like on my own stuff, I haven't just been programming in plain C mostly lately. I wrote some horrific C# today.
The fuck? 8-bit with -1.
Today was a very good week. Like it was actually a good week. Everyone's happy. All my clients. I actually made meaningful progress on most projects. Like things are good. I don't know if you guys had a similar week.
I'm gonna get up and stretch.
Cool. Roxanne. Roxanne. We should have a LTDS tabletop session.
Tabletop?
Yeah,
What?
like D&D,
Oh.
but not D&D because I don't do magic for religious reasons, right?
Ever play Catan?
I've never played that, but I know what it's about. Like I've watched other people play. I'm currently looking at this. Right? Let me send you a PDF. Like it's a free thing, so you don't have to pay for it. Um, where is the PDF? Here you go. Oh, it's too big. Ah. How can I give this to you? Oh, let me compress it. Although I think PDFs are already compressed on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
that's over there.
Discord not support peer-to-peer transfers?
No, they don't. I'll just pop it on my CD in one moment.
Bastards. Want all the data.
They want all the Diana. No, I think it's like a premium feature if you want larger thingies, larger upload sizes, and then you have to buy Nitro, right?
50
So I think
meg.
it's more related to money. I mean, I'm very happy. I'm not maintaining Discord CDN. Holy shit! I probably have petabytes of data. Just yeah, no.
Laying around doing nothing. Just yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. I'll pop you a link in a moment. There we go, Optimum.
About file.pizza.
Nah, there you go. I just popped it on my CDN. I know. I just started reading. Another friend recommended this. So there's the RISC system, right? Which is like a 4-page tabletop gaming system, but it's extremely open-ended. So if you want to have a good time, you need to be a pretty experienced DM, which I'm not. GM, right? So I'm hoping a friend recommended this that this system might like it's only 33 pages, so it's a bit more structured. But it's not like a 400-page book, and maybe it can give me enough structure to have a good game without the experience, right? Having a buttload of experience.
This requires me to use my imagination.
Yes, that is typically how tabletops work.
Hmm,
Come on, you're not that old, are you?
older than you.
Yeah, I think you're like. If I double my age, you're still older, probably.
When I was a kid, there was only a few video games. Everything was tabletop. Now I have
Yes.
luxury of not playing those, I guess.
Luxury, I'm insulted. There are some magical things that can happen when you know, do tabletop games that normal computer games just don't have to offer. Just it's a different experience. And
Gave,
admittedly,
gave
I don't,
D&D a shot, but sometimes it's not for me.
yeah. But I mean, there are many systems and many ways of doing skinning a cat, and you can have a very bad experience with one group, or a meh experience, and then have a great experience with another. That's what I found. Like, I gave a sci-fi tabletop gaming a go, uh, on this one community, and I had a horrible time. It was my first time, and I was like, I don't want to do this. Bye. And then 2 years later, I tried again with a different group, and it was a lot better. The DM really does make a big difference. I don't know, but it's up to you.
I couldn't see putting a bunch of hours into this at the moment, but keep it in mind.
Mm. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Pretty cool PDF.
Yeah, it is. Have you seen the RISC system?
I don't think so. You were building a
Mm.
game. Is that based on one of these?
Yeah, I built a campaign on based on RISC.
It sounds familiar. I think you showed me
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, I think I showed you the PDF. It's like 4 pages, but it's very open ended. It's Yeah, but yeah, I think my main problem is I just don't have any friends to play with. So
That's tough.
yeah, so it's not like the system is the problem. Rises is fine. It's that I don't have friends to play with. So yeah.
Been
Like
soloing Rocket League for 5 years too, because I can't spend the time to get a group together.
group together, yeah. Like I used to live in a town where I had friends, but then I moved away, and now I moved like 1,400 kilometers away. So and being an adult makes it hard to make new friends when you work from home.
Sure.
So yeah,
We live in an era of video chats too. I guess some people probably play this over video chat.
yeah, they do. It's quite a big thing, and that's where I played the game. That's the only games I've played so far. It's been on Discord. Because but yeah, they're in a different time zone, and they would like play at 2 in the morning in my time, so I stayed up a few times to play, but I wasn't able to find a group in my own time zone or that plays at reasonable hours.
Cool, and it's open source. Kind of controversial now with
What's controversial? Your mic's cutting out.
the Wizards of the Coast had a big brouhaha with the licensing for D&D.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
Seeking out alternative games.
There are quite a few. I don't know. Like I've played Stars Without Numbers, and then I was part of this group that was making their own system. The Sojourner is the system they were making. Yeah. Roxanne. Roxanne. Why are you coughing, Kappa? You okay, bud? You better not die on me.
Yeah, I just smoked some weed.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I'm feeling a little bit better.
Oh yeah, what was wrong?
I've been sick with a cough like a month.
Oh yeah, you went to the doctor. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I really need an appetite. I haven't been eating well the last few days, so I'm trying to get my munchies up.
Makes sense.
Yeah, like it helps me a lot with my appetite. My stomach is very, very sensitive. Like I can eat almost anything, but like if my nerves are slightly off, or if I feel slightly off at all anywhere else in my body, my stomach will just refuse to accept food.
Oh yeah, that's
But
not fun.
smoking is like the magic bullet to that. It'll always give me an appetite.
Gotta get the munchies, bro.
I'm having a yogurt because it's supposed to be good to restore my gut health.
Oh yeah, you can also like I don't know, probiotics with your drink like is good, but I don't know. Companies sell them as this magical thing. Like 90% of the time, you don't actually strictly need it. It's only when you had a medical condition or like something that happened to seriously wipe out your stuff that meds make sense.
That's where I'm at, and I'm taking 2 weeks of antibiotics.
Oh yeah, okay, that could explain. Could yeah.
So if just the lower bit is on, that means oh yeah, I need a forward buffer.
Red lights.
I need to use Milton again. So then let's say I have a special light blue ad that comes in here and generates a write on this cycle as well. So this is stored at the end of this cycle. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that's yeah. Yep. No, I just immediately have to. Then I just take because this is just going to be dangling out and it hasn't been buffered. So this data is from this cycle, and I have to buffer it once before it goes back into here. And there's already a pipeline buffer right there. So yeah, that just means there's only one. Yeah, that works. Yep, because that means this mux is the only additional thing it goes through, but it has to go through a lot. There has to be decode logic on the other side anyway. So this won't impact timing too bad. Only going through one additional mux before the output.
I'm gonna buy my FPGA next month.
Sweet.
I keep making Verilog that doesn't compile in Cortex. Like it's fine in the emulator, but it doesn't actually work in practice. So I need to stop developing habits of making Verilog that doesn't run on the actual FPGA. And a good first step is to get an actual FPGA to run this shit on. So.
Or you just follow the style that Capo uses and it'll work in Quartus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just write code like I do, then it works in everything.
Thank you, Capo.
You're welcome.
That
I
is
didn't know if you knew that or
so
not.
helpful.
You're welcome.
Just, can you just write a detailed manual on how you go about programming?
Yeah, I plan to do that actually within the next month or so because I need to do one for work. Because I'm hiring more people on, and we need a company standard.
There you go, code standard.
Yeah, it's going to be like RTL is RTL. Do RTL, and then explain what that means.
Yes.
RTL is RTL, so RTL it. Think in Redstone. You need a module. Build that explicitly.
You're like, but all new applicants. Have you ever played Minecraft? No? Okay, next.
Dude, I've actually I'm fully willing to be like, so if I hired someone new and they haven't played Minecraft, they have to go through an extra week of like training before everyone else. Like everyone else gets that week just paid off or whatever like that, or like they'll go through their training ahead of time, but they have to start a week later than everybody else because they have to go through a first week of learning Redstone circuits and learning how to build stuff in Redstone.
Yeah.
And just pretty much getting to the point where they can pass an OR trial, and then I'll be like, okay, cool. Now that you've done that, and I'll pretty much get it to the point where they can build a basic data loop, actually, so a little bit past the OR trial, and then be like, okay, now that you can do that, which is easy to learn in a week, and then I'll be like, okay.
If you're already applying for a job like that, then you should already,
Yeah, it should take maybe a day.
Yeah.
So I'll just force you to take like a side thing, like, no, okay, well, everyone else, you get the rest of the day off. You that haven't played Minecraft and can't build Redstone, you have to learn this.
You could
First-
accept the digital design.
Huh?
Digital designer equivalent.
I still want them to use Redstone.
I don't know.
Because the timing restraints force you to think a lot more strict.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Ultimate timing knowledge.
I think I'm scaring my family and friends.
Roxanne!
Like I listen to German music when I'm falling asleep. And I'm just randomly singing German words poorly and incorrectly all the time. And people are like, what?
Oh my god, I just realized something.
Yes, what?
I need to make a note.
Hmm.
Come on, let me write.
I'm torn between working on my compiler and playing computer games.
You got some new games. You should just play those all weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna take tomorrow off. Like, it was a really successful week. Everything is up to date. There's nothing to catch up. Maybe I should honestly just play games the weekend.
So what I need to do is I need to let the 4 bits shift. So if you stall on this cycle here, right? and you were supposed to forward in this cycle, since this cycle takes care of you do forward detection before you actually do forwarding. So since it outputs 2 bits per register, if you end up stalling on this clock cycle for some reason, then because like if this buffer is told, hey, this instruction that you're getting is actually no, never mind, I don't need to do that. Because when you stall, it would be turning off this register. This buffer always will still be clocked, so I need to move that on this side. There you go. Because during a stall, this will keep being clocked. Constantly grab the up-to-date status and up-to-date whatever this is actually pushing through. Because your stall will have figured this to stall, not here. Then this stalled region more accurately would be considered that then. This is just letting it go ahead. If I wanted to be even more accurate, it wouldn't include the Runahead Queue, because that doesn't stall. Well, it does stall technically. Yeah, it does.
I'm on an inverter right now. The power is off, so I hope my GPU doesn't spike too much. Ooh. Loading screens make me scared when I'm on backup power.
I can understand that.
Yeah. It's just that the graphics card uses more electricity than my entire computer. And the power is like off for 4 hours or something. So the battery needs to last. It's fine though. Ooh, there's a monster.
So for part of tomorrow, I'm gonna be refactoring my game.
Oh yeah, you promised me an early access build. Yeah, I'm gonna keep you to that.
What of your game?
Yeah.
My game. I'm gonna do some refactoring tomorrow. Maybe I'll have a build after that.
What type of game is it again?
It's a platformer. It's kind of like Mega Man, but with magic spells.
Okay.
I might not play your game.
Still got a long way to go though.
Yeah. I know. I would like to watch you refactor though. It's always fun to watch other people code.
Yeah, maybe.
Except so Kappa, because I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
I got my new laptop battery, so if the weather's nice, I'm just gonna go to the park, work on it there.
That sounds like a good idea. I can also program on my laptop. I should go outside more, to be honest. It's just that it's so dangerous to go outside here.
And anywhere else, I'd probably be like, nah, man, you can at least go outside sometimes. But then, like, seeing where you live and where you've shown me, I'm like, you're probably right.
Yeah. Like,
Stuff you've shown me doesn't exactly look too inviting.
yeah, no. Like, it's fine. Going outside is perfectly fine in a group, right? Like, with your family or friends or whatever. But just go sitting in a park alone is probably asking for someone to do something.
But you showed us your cul-de-sac there. You a little lawn chair out there, and yeah.
I could. It's nice and cold today. Wow, it was really cold today. It was like 25 degrees Celsius, so that's nice.
Really?
Yeah, some good weather. And I put
2
on the
degrees here
red.
in Florida. 22 Celsius.
22. Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Oh, 32.
Oh, 32. Oh, yeah.
I said
Yeah,
it's still
that's.
end of winter.
Yeah. Yeah. We start. Winter's about to start. Like, give it take a few more months. But yeah, like usually it's 40 degrees Celsius. And like it's been cold a lot, but there's a storm on the way, and it's like a cold front, so that's why it's so cold. But in the winter it gets really cold here, like really cold, like 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. Sometimes negative, so But, I mean, I guess for people in America where it snows, that's hot. I don't know. I'm lost.
Show you a crazy picture
Do it.
in the side chat.
The sidebar. No. Oh wow, that's beautiful though.
It's not usually like that down in Southern California. They had a blizzard, something like that.
I took this picture while sailing last weekend. Or the one before, whatever. Of Table Mountain. Here. I was at sea while taking that.
Very nice. It all fit in the frame.
Yeah, it did. You can see like lion's head and everything. It's great.
Very picturesque. What's the geological explanation for that?
I don't know. I think it
Oh.
just corroded like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, Table
Almost looks
Mountain.
like a fault. Maybe it slid away from the top.
You can Google it. It's Table Mountain. It's a pretty world-renowned place.
Much farther out do you go in the boat?
One sec. I'm about to be killed by an enemy. And so that's the furthest I've ever gone from land. I don't know how many kilometers that is. But yeah, like typically, you can go thousands of nautical miles if you want. But typically,
Yeah,
you just stay
you could
close
go
to
to the
the shore.
South Pole if you wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't
But
see
that's
you doing
abnormal.
that.
Yeah, like I'm still training. So I need to get a better qualification before I can go deeper, kind of thing. No, why was my car destroyed? What the man?
Is that the soccer stadium in the front?
Yeah, that round thing. Yeah.
Oh. And then, so the buildings to the left, that's like the financial center.
Let me see. Yeah, yeah. Like one of them is a bank and one is the Table Mountain Hotel, I think. Yeah. Like like next to this, and then to the right there are like big buildings, but I don't know which companies have those. The skyscrapers.
What latitude are you at?
I don't know. You can Google it.
Okay.
I don't live in Cape Town, right? But that is Cape Town.
Okay.
33 south.
Nice.
Get the register file made.
Yeah.
Actually, let me run through this. This logic was pretty simple, actually.
Rock sand.
Runahead history. It's just whether or not you ran ahead the last two instructions. So you know whether or not the forwards will actually be valid. And if the forwards are not valid, if you forwarded 0th, forward the immediately preceding instruction.
Oh,
and you did it run ahead, you went through. Or for 1 and 1, that's the same with B. And then for load operand match, if A was marked dirty and memory happens to be actively loading into that register, then it goes, hey, steal that value.
I just killed a cow. Oh no, wait, you can't kill it, lol.
Something to do with glaciers.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Like, I've been on top of the mountain. There's a cable car that takes you up. You go for very cheap if it's your birthday. So I usually go on my birthday up there. Grafwaterformatie. Cape Granite Suite. Ja, graafwater of grafwater. Soft pakijs formation.
Ice, just packed ice, right?
Pakijs means packing house. That's how that would translate. Grafwater, graf could be like grave water or spade water. I don't know. I've never encountered that word before. Malmesbury grip. Okay, that's strange. Sandstone. Oh shit, I'm dying. No, I'm dying. Wait, in my game. One moment. One moment. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, something to do with glaciers. Something called a packhouse. A packhouse formation.
Graf water means digging for water.
Oh, that's interesting. A graf. A graf. Okay, I mean,
Graf.
yeah,
Graf.
the word graf. I think can also mean like spade, like a shovel.
Oh, okay.
In my language, so maybe that refers to like shovel water, digging water. I don't know. I'm too ignorant about geological terms in my home language.
Love language. Love
Love
etymology.
language?
Love
Yeah,
Oh, do you like
talking about like the
etymology?
5 love languages.
I don't know.
What's your love language?
Your mama.
Oh, that's mean. How could you say that to me?
Uh-huh.
Language is
Wait.
C99.
Oh, C99, nice. and what's it? Anti.
Yeah.
C, yeah. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Sure, why not?
Graf says Dutch earl or count. That
Okay.
might be a different word.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
here it
have no idea. Oh yeah.
is. Graf, plural graue, shovel.
Shovel, yeah. Like I said, shovel. Um, that is like I know that as the word for shovel, right? So yeah, graf is how you say it.
Very, very interesting melting pot of languages.
Yeah. So Afrikaans is like a combination of I think it's Dutch, German, and French. If I'm not mistaken.
I know it's in German, I believe. You're right. I don't know enough about it.
Like a lot of it is Dutch. But yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. I like it. It's a good language. It's dying as a language, but it's good. People aren't really speaking it as much. Which is sad, I guess.
I mean, English is fine, but it's boring.
English isn't boring. English is useful as a language.
Oh, it's great. You know, it is the lingua franca of the day.
I know, like the thing with Afrikaans is like, from what I understand,
What the
there are
hell?
technical words.
I'm working on modifying the diagram. I'm not even fucking putting my modifications on the stream.
Lol.
I'm doing it on the other monitor. I'm like, why in the hell am I streaming if I'm not doing this on?
On stream, yeah. Like there are words for technical stuff from what I understand, and the language is being expanded, but no one actually speaks it like that or knows what those words are in practice.
Like Latin.
Yeah. So like the problem is like yes, there are words for programming terms and there are words for all of these things, but me being a programmer, I just have no idea what those words are. I just speak English when I'm talking about programming, right? And that's kind of yeah.
If the main export there is like labor, then it makes sense for English to be really important.
Like the thing is, like I speak Afrikaans every day with my family and my friends. Like it's where we normally speak. But it's like the household stuff. It's not
Oh, yeah.
technical, highly technical stuff. And even my best friend, who's also a programmer and is also Afrikaans, we speak Afrikaans when talking about technical stuff, but we use the English words when they come up. So we would say compiler, like accurately compile the code, right? Which is, I don't know, compile the code. So we will use the English words.
Isn't that rather common in like foreign languages and they're talking technical stuff? Because there's like a lot of technical words are just English. So
basically. But apparently there's like there are words for all of these things in Afrikaans, like from what I understand, but no one actually knows what they are, like in a common people, right? So Afrikaans is a fun language, though. It has a very literal interpretation of things. For example, like the word for a rocket, like a Falcon 9 or whatever, is vuurpyl, which if you directly translate it, it's like fire arrow.
Right.
that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that translation a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? So I don't know. I like
those
it.
qualities are endearing to me.
Yeah, they are. Like my mother and my grandmother is really good at Afrikaans, and they will write poems in Afrikaans and like short stories and stuff, and that like it's very interesting to read those because they are so well
Scrapus mechanicus.
well crafted.
Scrapos mechanicos? Right? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
Speaking of Greek.
No, that's not Greek.
I was listening to some Portuguese the other day, and that is very Greek sounding.
Mediterranean language.
Yeah.
Languages fascinate me, and I suck at them. And I know I've tried to learn them many times. They just don't work.
Yeah, immersion is really important. It's in my experience, right? Like, I've been listening to. I want to learn German, so I've been listening to a lot of German music, and then you just like hit up the Onki decks to get the vocabulary, and then you just go find a Discord full of Germans, and start. Yeah, embarrass yourself. Yes. Right.
You want me to translate the title of the game in Greek? I can give it a try.
Okay, go for it. I'll do the same in Afrikaans.
It's the order of the words changes. It's mechanicos metal. Well, mechanicos whatever scrap means in Greek.
Yeah, I don't know what scrap is in Afrikaans either.
Oh yeah, this doesn't get a stall.
Well, I can say useless metals.
Yeah, I can say that as well.
Mechanicos agreston metallon. Mechanical useless metals.
A synonym you might be able to use. Garbage.
There is a word. So in Afrikaans for scrap, it's skruet. So it would be
mechanic.
Yeah, I need to think what the word mechanic is. I think it's werktuigkundig. So skruet werktuigkundige or something like that. I don't know. I would have to look it up.
Speak to your friends with that dirty mouth.
And it's weird. Like, if I were to go to an average Afrikaans person and say the word werktuigkundige, they would just look at me like I'm a lunatic. Like it's not some people just say mechanic, like they use the English word. Yeah.
Don't need forward detection open.
Just the idea of lost language makes me sad.
Yeah.
There's languages lost every day.
There is.
Some ridiculous statistic, like way more than I would ever imagine. Information lost all the time.
That is true. But that's life.
There was a great effort on the web not too long ago to get many of these disparate languages people onto tape, onto record, so people could listen to it later.
I don't know. Like the thing with Afrikaans is that most of the not most, a lot of the people that speak Afrikaans are emigrating to other countries because South Africa is falling apart, and the
Like
consequences. Say again.
Like Elon Musk.
Yeah. So the problem is that now they're moving to a country where no one else speaks Afrikaans.
So they're gonna stop speaking the language and they're gonna forget.
Yeah, so they stop speaking it, and then the next generation doesn't speak the language, and then it just dies, dead, right? Which is sad, I guess. I know it upsets my grandmother a lot.
So they're exporting the people, but they're not exporting the culture.
Yeah, we're not exporting the culture. That is true. Like the thing is, like patriotism was a very big thing in my grandmother's generation, but there's not a patriotic bone left in my generation. Not like nothing. Just it's very hard to feel patriotic to a country that's just falling apart and where, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna speak my mind because I'm making trouble for that. But the point is that that's one of the things that's very different between South Africa and America is that you can't just say whatever you want. You will get legal trouble.
Like what?
Yeah, let's not discuss it.
If you criticize a person or a group or what?
Yeah, if you like, for example, racism is illegal.
I mean, that's not necessarily bad, but
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's bad. Whoa, don't misunderstand me.
No,
Whoa.
no, not that.
Whoa. No. I'm not.
Free speech.
Yeah, like what I'm saying is like it's just that a lot of things are being construed as the racism that's not. It's a big problem. I don't know.
Is it one of those things where like they're trying to make make too broad of a brushstroke for what they're trying to define as that? Like they're going as far as like just going too far with things. I don't know of a good example, but like
the legislation is just way too open. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I have honestly I would have no idea how to even come close to defining that. I have no idea. I'm not even gonna come close to even touching that one.
See, part of the problem is is that, for example, there are also like legal challenges with religious beliefs and stuff, and not offending people. I don't know. Like it hasn't been a problem yet, but it's starting to become a problem. And even discussing what we're discussing right now is considered taboo.
Lawmakers should go write a dictionary.
I don't know. Like I said, this is why I don't want to speak about it because I don't want to.
Yeah, we get you. I get you.
Yeah, it's such a heated topic and discussion.
I don't want you to give me an example. I just wanted to know what kind of things.
We're just giving examples of what kind of things are inappropriate.
That's illegal. Yeah, that's.
It's in and of itself just not a good point of discussion. So.
Illegal.
That's not illegal, and talking about racism is not illegal. No, it's not that bad. Sorry, I'm making it sound horrible, but like it's really not that bad. But like it's just I don't want to. Man, I'm
Yeah,
so
because
tired
here-
of
because
discussing
here-
this bullshit.
Here in the
No.
Balkans, we do it all the time. Like Greeks are racist towards Albanians, and Albanians are racist towards Greeks. Like everyone's racist to anyone. Everyone like it
Yeah.
cancels out or something.
I don't know. Racism is a really big problem in our country, and it goes both ways.
Isn't a problem like everywhere?
Yeah, it is. It is. Like, I know the other thing is that our government has a lot of policies that yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna comment on anything because I'm just gonna get in trouble. Not on a live stream.
We made it part of our culture here.
Yeah.
That's Balkans for you.
I feel like if you attempt to say that in like most of the world, or at least in like US, they'd be like, no, and I don't. It's every part of the world is so different, and it hurts my brain.
Yeah.
Because something you can be like ingrained in you is like bad and like universally thought of as bad, like everyone thinks universally is bad. Then you go to there's inevitably some place in the country where like, yo, you like that, or like, hey, you like this. It's like, hey, what's up? And it's like inevitably there's gonna be some place somewhere in the world that probably get away with it, and that's just hurts my head to think about.
Yeah, I don't. In South Africa, it just feels like no matter what you say, some group is gonna hate you.
Yeah.
So it's better to just keep your mouth shut. And
That's
go
why I
on.
like technology, because it's hard to offend somebody by saying, no, that's dumb. You can't forward that value, because no one can be like, if you're offended by me telling you can't forward that value, well then like, I'm sorry, but you need to learn why you can't forward that value.
Ah, buddy, you would be amazed how much trouble. Anyway, I digress. Like even that is problematic in some instances. The workplace is strange. Anyway, it people get offended if yeah okay and
Yeah.
you know
Mechanical pork spiders.
yeah I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm just not gonna say anything.
I am on.
I-
I'll
you know
skew
what I
the
will say.
subject because you keep like trying to avoid it and then looping back into the same conversation again. So I see you're
Yeah.
playing Scrap Mechanic that you bought a Wednesday. How are you liking it?
I'm gonna say one thing before we move on.
Oh my God.
Just wish all humans could live together, friendly and be nice to one another. But
Yes.
yeah, that would be nice. But anyway, it's
And
a
that-
good game. I don't know.
Yeah, I really wish there was like a universal good way to solve indifferences. Like a healthy universal way to say, hey, we have an indifference. Let's resolve this. That's
Need
not
the empathy gun from Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah,
the
I need
empathy
the
gun.
empathy gun from Hitchhiker's Guide. Yes.
That's amazing. Sorry, you don't understand my problems as much as you should.
But that just feels like a game of who's gonna override who. Anyway, that's funny. When that, I don't know. It's such a loaded thing.
Yes.
The game's good, Capo. I've barely started playing. I almost got this car done.
Did I tell you what I realized yesterday?
What did you say again?
Did I tell you what I realized yesterday?
No, tell me.
Whose complement numbers are truncated to two-adic integers?
What?
Repeat that.
Whose complement numbers are truncated two-adic integers?
Truncated to
You're not
what?
making a lot of sense.
Two-adic. Like, let me give you the most simple of examples. What happens if you do?
I don't know what you're saying. Two attic. What is that?
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know what that is.
P-adic. In terms like P is a prime, like 2 ADIC, two-adic number.
I have never heard
And
that.
I
it's
don't
a
have
number
no idea
system.
what you're talking about.
It's a different number system. So like, first of all, you know that real numbers, normal real numbers, they
So you
have
said,
a finite,
how do you, what number system?
the real number system.
I know. I'm talking about, what are you talking about?
I'm gonna give you an example about
I'm looking it up. Just tell me what the name. I'm on Google.
It's his
Yeah.
status on his Discord.
P-adic. P does ADIC. P-ADIC number.
Roxanne.
Bing.
Roxanne. Bing, you monster! Can we all just agree that Bing is horrible? And
No, it's actually like amazing. I love it. And plus, I have this thing.
Bing AI.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what I understand right now is, so you know a real number has a finite set of whole number digits and infinite number of fractional digits. Right? Like you can get pi. Like pi has 3 for whole digits and then infinite number of fractional digits. Okay?
I'll take your word for it.
That's real numbers. Periodic numbers.
I'm just using Bing.
Periodic numbers have infinite whole digits and fractional digits are finite.
Periodic numbers are mainly used in number theory. They are used to solve problems involving integers and rational numbers. For example, periodic numbers can be used to study the Diophantine equation.
Diophantis. That's Diophantis equations. Yeah.
Adic is like a Greek suffix for like meaning like you have a certain number of arguments in your function.
Yeah,
If your function has 2 arguments, it's a 2adic.
Diadikos. Diadikos, triadikos, tetradikos.
So it's just number of inputs to a function?
Yeah.
Well, no.
It's like the number.
So when you say p, like an n-adic number, first of all, it's like a base n number. So you got base 10 numbers like minus 1. What is minus 1 in a 10-adic number? What's minus 1 equivalent of a 10-adic number? Well, that's 9999 infinite nines. Because if you add 1 to those infinite nines, you get infinite zeros, which is 0. Right? So if you take that thing and then you move it back down to
So
2,
you're talking like an attic of a power of 2 would be like 128 minus 1 would be like 127, or like.
That's what, like, let me.
So in binary, would that be like if you want to go, if the binary attic of like 128 would be 127 because it's all ones?
Well,
How do
128.
I start my engine?
You have to connect it to your throttle, and then you have to turn it on. You have to connect it to power.
How do I do this?
Oh, you have to go into edit mode and connect stuff to it. There's an edit gun you can connect things with.
There's that one video that explained. Yeah. Anyway, so in 10-adic numbers, minus 1 is all 9s. If you pull that back to 2-adic numbers, minus 1 is all 1s. So if you truncate it to some amount of like 8 digits, then you got an 8-bit 2's complement number.
Yeah, no. Your explanation is just like noping.
Nope, no. It just, I don't know. I was watching a video and it clicked on me.
Yeah, you're just saying things that don't connect directly. I think it's hurting my brain.
I think I got this too quickly.
Roxanne.
You think of the adic suffix meaning like the base of the number or like the quality of the number.
There was a video that person submitted in a
I can't think of any concept that solves every single one of the things you're saying, and I'll have to look it up later.
I suggest that this is the same video that got me to realize that. This was a submission to the Summer of Math exposition. So, you know, it got big.
I like how in Scrap Mechanic you peel metal scraps like carrots.
Yeah.
It
That's
doesn't
pretty
make
funny.
sense.
It's you use the same tool to peel like bark off trees. So like, You're peeling the paint off of metal scraps or whatever.
I'll peel the paint off you. No.
Like, you're fucking wasting all this body. You're just taking one limb for fuck's sake. Now
Hmm.
it's
Okay, so I keep stalling because you're talking about math, and it just I don't know,
sorry.
fucking failing me.
First we talk about free speech,
Well,
and
it's
then
like-
we talk about maths, and then
It's always difficult, near impossible to fucking explain something in math that you lit to somebody that doesn't know anything about what you're talking about when it just clicked in your head.
Yes. So it's not my. So like you're saying, it's not my problem. It's like.
Oh, I
my
see how you
fault.
spun that. It's not my, it's my
Yeah.
problem because I don't know the precursory knowledge. I
I'm
see.
So it's not.
I see.
And like, it's not just my problem. It's like in general when this happens.
Yeah, that's what you meant.
Sorry.
I'm just fucking, I don't care. I'm just messing with you.
Roxanne.
I do want to say on a serious note though, I really like that y'all have been like coming by here so often. If like no one came to any of these, I probably would never have actually continued to do this and like push it forward. Like just have, for instance, the only reason I have the motivation this weekend to go back and build those equivalents is because someone joined and that joined from last week's stream, and it was like, hey, what I don't. Just ask me about like, hey, what are you writing? I don't understand what you're using. And I can be like, hey, I wish I had someone to show you. And now I can get someone to show them. And it makes me happy.
Yeah, I watch almost anybody talking about computer science stuff. But you're doing a pretty good job. Keeping everybody involved.
Help.
And I'm I've never been good. Like my entire life, I've sucked at explaining things. So that's one reason why I think I'm trying to get like so many resources built out. So when people ask me questions, I can say, hey, instead of me trying to explain it on the spot, look, there's a debugger that does half the hard work, that does like all of the hard work for me, and just lets you build your own intuition. So I don't have to explain things. And then here's gonna be a site for that's one-to-one mapping between the different forms, different like. From digital to Redstone and to System Verilog, have all three of those pretty much up, and it'll just be so nice. That was the third translation I wanted. I wanted to do like digital or Logisim. That'd be a fun weekend making the same thing in System Verilog, digital, Logisim, and Redstone, and having four screenshots side by side. Like, hey, these are all equivalent.
To the best of your abilities, of course.
Huh?
To the best of your abilities, because you have to remake them manually. You can't there's no programmatic way to convert.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would make them all manually. Like I would say, okay, for a wire, here's a wire, and then if you want to instantiate a wire, I would have an example of like a torch going into a wire and being like, hey, and that torch being connected to a switch, or a switch being there, and be like, hey, this is an example of that, and like an OR gate. And I'll have like the one-to-one gate examples and stuff. I want to go all out and have like a full library of comparisons where you can just see what stuff is.
What am I doing wrong?
Yes. This car is malfunctioning.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing, right? Oh, there's a difference between that and that, I guess. Okay. Maybe I want that? Yeah, now the wheels are turning. I think they're backwards, but whatever. We can probably do that or something. Yeah, there we go. Okay, how do I attach this, make this button turn the engine on? Is that a thing? Go! Vrrr.
When you were trying to explain it, all I can think of is when someone goes, a monad is a monoid in the category.
He's a monoid in the category of window functors.
Oh, that explains it.
That explains it.
I tried to
Yeah.
give an example as well.
I get there's the Wikipedia article I put. That,
Yeah, I don't think that does a good job of explaining it.
No, not in the context you're trying to explain.
Oh, the RT Wikipedia.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same word basically. It's the suffix.
Yes, I'm not trying to talk about the linguistic aspect of this. There's
No.
literally a number system called 2 adic numbers and 3 adic numbers and 4 adic numbers. In general, you use primary. That's why the P.
I feel frustrated.
That's why-
Binary, binary, ternary.
Hey guys, this is not working. What am I doing wrong?
It's not working. It's not going vroom vroom.
Yeah, it's just going.
But usually that's all you got to do is use your mouth, and that makes it work. Close your eyes.
No. If it listen. If it's supposed to move, Q20. If it doesn't want to move, duct tape, and that is the rule of thumb in life. Does anyone know anything about this game?
RT, but he's not here.
I've played it a long time ago, like a couple of years ago.
Could you tell me how to make this thing go?
Yeah, so you have an engine. Is your engine connected to your wheels?
Oh, do you need to connect the engine to a wheel?
Ah.
Oh shit! It's going away. No,
Yeah,
no,
because
no,
you
no,
let your engine's gonna be. You have nothing to turn off your engine, so it's not gonna stop until it hits something. You have to connect it to a button or to some control. There you go. So disconnect. Disconnect that.
There we go.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, and that's going in the wrong direction as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
so now you need to connect that to connect that to your other back wheel so you have even propulsion at least. Otherwise, you're gonna be,
Yeah, that might be a good
Wheel
idea
drive.
actually. Now they're directing.
Yeah,
same
that's
direction.
good.
And then if I touch the button to the seat, then I can operate it from the.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I just detached the wheel spoke. It's gone. No.
yeah, it takes some getting used to.
Does look like fun.
You know what
It's
else
a
looks
decent
like
game,
fun?
but it's one of those games where if you want to truly have fun with it, you're going to have to like
Invest into
actually,
your life.
it's gonna be a time sink. There's a lot of games I've realized that being an adult would be amazing to play, but like I don't got time for that, like
I
at
have
all.
a life. Yeah. kind of
Like
thing.
I would love to get into Dwarf Fortress now that it actually has like a cool, like a nice interface. It's on Steam, but I know the moment I get into Dwarf Fortress, there goes all of my productivity for the next like preceding future.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Oh shit.
I think I need to pull down the power bar, right?
Well, what you could do is also drive the front wheels. You get 4-wheel drive. You got too much weight in the back.
Oh, I hear
The
you.
counterweight. Move your steering forward. So you're sitting more towards the
Ali!
front. Oh.
Hi, Myvar.
Are you alive?
Yeah.
Can anyone claim to be truly alive?
What?
You're like, this is too early in the morning, my bar, damn it. Okay, you want me to attach the engine to the front wheel drive as well?
If you want, I don't give a shit. Yo,
I was
car.
gonna say, move your seat and your steering more to the front so the weight is shifted. center
Oh,
downward.
is that what you're trying to sell me?
Yeah, as well.
Okay, how about I move this steering column backwards? Like this, and then I'll put the wheels back here.
Works too.
And then it's a bit more center, and then the car's larger, which should give it a bit more mass in any case. Oh shit.
They got room for all them fat girls.
Yes. You know,
Yeah, buddy.
buddy, boy.
Wow. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Optimo, I want to take a picture of my mountains.
Yeah.
Because you posted that picture of the mountains above Burbank, the Hollywood Hills.
picture's been
Hold
making
up.
all the news.
It's a really pretty picture. Whoever took that was really fucking. That's
You see the one I posted this morning is the whole shot all the way up
yeah.
from the water to the sky.
Why can't this stupid thing reverse? Piece of shit.
So do you guys see how I'm doing this version? This version of CPU, I'm actually breaking each of the stages into their own modules. Because scrolling through that main file before was fucking hell. Trying to find things.
Right.
So now it's just going to be like, there'll just be 5 long, like large modules. I'll just be passing parameters, and they'll be like the stall and system, like the stall control will be out external of that, but everything else won't be. Everything else will be
Roxanne.
inside modules, and stall kind of goes to like a bunch of shit.
Those will those end up as like blocks in the RTL, the top level?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea would be that when you look at this module, when you look at the system overall, you would see like between each of these blue lines would just be one big module, and you would just see like a bunch of individual wires going between them.
I
And
like
then they
the
would all,
diagram professor was drawing yesterday with a pipeline video.
Back.
yeah, it'll
Hi,
it'll
back, I'm
actually just
Dad.
look like you'll have like F0, F1, and then you'll just have like a bunch of wires just coming across here. And then you'll have like your clock lines all come into all of them, and then you got like your resets. Then there'll be like the stall will come up to here, and it'll be the stall unit will be like connected over to here to all the other stages. It'll just like visually do that.
Piece of shit.
Robot was attacking you.
Yeah. What the
Didn't
hell? I'm
expect
just
that.
being here in peace, and bastard took a whack at me.
I came back with Canadian delights.
What's that? Maple syrup and bacon.
Yeah.
No. Maple
Yeah?
syrup butter.
Nice.
Well, pure maple spread, it says on here.
I don't think I've ever had maple syrup.
This is actual imported maple thingy, so it's not fake.
Nice.
Real stuff is very fruity,
Mhm.
very
And smoky. I
aromatic.
like smoke.
Smoky. Yeah. Well,
Being
it's
best friends.
distill it, so there may be some smoky notes in there.
Not distilled.
It's
Boiled
just
Alright.
down.
me,
That's
or are
right.
these
Um,
wheels garbage?
Evaporated. Cook the water. The water's like 90% of it.
Yeah, from the tree, yes.
Yep.
You just want to get that 10% or however much.
Roxanne!
Yeah, this butter is very smoky.
Nice.
Some like coffee. Like it reminds of coffee.
Sounds
Have it on
good.
some toast.
Yes.
Excellent.
Big on you, filed beast!
What is the lore of scrap mechanic?
You crashed an alien planet.
Is this actually fake, like another planet, or is this like a
I don't
Like
know,
a
ask the devs.
post-apocalyptic Earth?
Earth, but in another dimension.
It looks like post-apocalyptic Earth.
Just
apocalyptic
look
Earth.
at these horrible wheels.
Is this faster than you can walk, though?
Probably not, but I don't want to be back there anymore. And besides, I went through all the damn trouble of making this piece of shit. I'm sure as hell I'm gonna drive it. Oh, have I been going in the wrong direction?
Someone following you.
No, I think I went in circles. Oh shit, this is bad.
No.
Oh, oh, no. Die.
That was close.
Stupid something damaged my
You
car.
regen health. Well, that's very kid friendly.
I think that's fundamentally what this game is. I don't know. I bought some more games. I might play other games as well. Can I eat this? No. Give me food. No! Shit! What is this game, man?
Crap, my can.
It's a sandbox, but
It just
Okay.
deleted my thing. How do I rotate something? R maybe? C? Nope. No.
QE.
Q. There we go. Yeah. Okay, now I have to go ahead and reattach the button, I think. Yeah. Oh, and then that needs to hook up to that. I think. No, that's wrong. Yeah. It's finicky though. Oh, crap on a stick. Crap on a stick. The steering column was inverted. That's why I ended up like this. Yeah. And I'm gonna get attacked again, and then I'm gonna die, and then I'm just gonna climb into bed and cry myself to sleep.
Well, who doesn't say that's what happens after you wake up back out of your bed?
You just made my brain hurt.
Like, you die and then you wake up back at your base, at your bed. What? Who's to say you weren't crying yourself to sleep before you woke up?
Well,
Okay.
unless you do it every night, anyway. Some people cry every night.
That's
The
sad.
last time I cried was at the fucking funeral of my grandma. Which
You
is
guys don't cry every night? It's weird.
Yeah.
Nah. You know, when you want. Okay. Bye,
Wrong
Ali.
button.
I was speaking to you, Ali, and then you just disappeared.
We had the wrong button incident. That was
Yeah.
a misinput. Misinput.
Now, what I was saying is, every single time you've joined this Discord, you just woke up and you had to go look for your pants.
And then in a way stumbled across your cat.
Like every single time. It's like, oh, I wonder where my pants are.
I joined this fully clothed, I'll have you know.
For one.
Hey, that's I am too. But the vast majority of times we start on Wednesdays and Fridays, I only have like maybe half my clothes on. I never have my camera on. Why do I need clothes? No one's gonna see me.
That's a good point, I guess.
Like I have a shirt and like maybe boxers. I'm just chilling here. Like you ain't seeing me. I'm just coding. Why does it matter what I have on? The best part about working from home and doing stuff is you don't have to get all like dressed. You just have pajamas on all day.
Yeah.
I'm in my robe right now.
Oh, it's too hot to. In the winter, I'll get into a robe, right? But right now it's like 40 C, so I would die. I'm really big. I'm exactly 2 meters tall. So I like 6'6". So I had to have a robe made, and it's really nice and comfy. It fits perfectly. I love it. What are you doing, Ali? Oh, it's an Ali. Where's my webcam? Let me plug in mine.
Chilling. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and this is why we put pants on, Capo. When people turn their webcam on.
You don't even know if I'm wearing pants. You can't see.
That
below
is
me.
true.
I have okay, so 100.
Huh? What if I'm not wearing
100% dead ass. I've fully been like in a work conference call where I was required to like show my face to like 7 or 8 people. I've been an entire call with like my work shirt on, like little polo shirt with the logo and all that stuff. Hair done right, but then below like my chest down.
Yeah.
I had boxers, like thigh-high socks on, and a striped Cheshire Cat onesie on that I just like took my sleeves out of and just folded it down and like tied the sleeves in a knot so it stayed on my waist. It stayed that way for the entire meeting. And like 25 minutes into the meeting, I decided I want to turn my fan on, and I get up and just jump over, turn the fan on, forgetting I had my onesie on, and just like they just see like this striped pink onesie on my waist. And I'm like, I just continue talking and ignoring it like nothing happened. And I just see a few extra blinks, and then like people just ignore it and move on.
I do the same. I have a work shirt that I wear for meetings that I just keep on a hanger on the side, so I don't even have to wash it or nothing. Right? I just have two of them that I just swap out because I have it on for like 30 minutes, and then it's good to go.
I think I'm gonna end the stream now because I finished 3 modules. Like I wrapped up the forward detection that we started last time. Well, no, I did forward detection. Yeah, we made the forward detection unit. So we made 3 modules. Then I started the assembly of this stage. Then next time, I'll start making the instruction decoder. Like I'll start making these pieces.
Roxanne.
Yeah, I'll start making these modules so that way I can assemble this, and then I'm waiting to build the instruction issue until after I remake these so I know what inputs I need to actually output of this stage. I'm kind of like building up from here. But yeah, the Runahead Queue is like halfway done.
Very good, monsieur.
Yeah.
Yes, queen.
I'm excited.
Roxanne.
You don't have to turn on the red light.
3 out of the 5 cameras.
Yeah, I'll be turning mine on after I turn off this YouTube stream. Bye, YouTube people. If you want to see our beautiful faces in the Discord, live and in person, and continue working